solid start to this game. It looks like a Queen's Indian defense, and meanwhile a handshake between Magnus Carlsen, the leader so far, and Wesley. So, predictions here?
It's the English opening. I was just going to predict that right before he played it, obviously. This is a clash of the Titans. It's going to be a big one. You know, predictions here, this goes to Armageddon.
Oh, no. Put a 100,000 on that. Let's go. Come on.
After 2 draws, or after 2 barnstorming wins for each side?
James, you take that question.
I actually think Magnus is going to take the match here. I think he takes the first game here, especially if this goes into a Catalan, which is one of his favorites. This could be a Catalan pie transposition at some point. Mr. Reverse Sicilian, a lot of ways to go here, in fact. So Magnus is already in here to use this, even in championship against Jan. C6, these lines are cool. I like the ideas with, there's a knight f3 here. Knight f3, e4, knight 5, d5, takes queen b6, knight c2. Yeah, that's it.
I love how James is always just recalling his entire chessable course, all the openings. Meanwhile, Magnus strikes in the center with a deep pawn moving forward. A check development is getting completed, but there is a tension in the center right now, David.
We've seen this before. Jan Nepomniachtchi played this earlier in the day. This reaction to the English opening. Check, bishop's off the board, and very solid stuff for black. But white does occupy the center. White will soon, if he wants, put a pawn on e4. He can also bring the knight out in the near future, either to f3 or after moving the pawn to e2. And black is very solid, white gets the space. It's a bit of a trade-off, but Wesley just happy to survive the opening. He looks like he's enjoying whatever music's in his ears as well.
He's like kind of smirking a little bit, like he's just feeling good. You know, he's happy to see Wesley happy.
9 minutes each. Magnus may be the one facing the surprise, just choosing now where to put his e-pawn, where to develop his knight before he gets castled. Or will he surprise us all, shock us all by castling queenside?
I think he's thinking that, you know, because like, you know, you already got a few moves, like knight f3, you know, e4, I mean, or castle queenside. That is a move. He may be considering it.
He did a shadoop. That was the queen, I think. He's not moving that queen twice. Yeah, long castle would be stunning. I wouldn't bet on that move happening. But James, to your point, you bring out your knight, which is such a natural move in the position, and then you're inviting black to gain more space in the center by pushing up that e-pawn with a tempo. That doesn't look very attractive either.
I like the e4 move. I mean, it does block. Oh wait, he goes for something else. Rook d1.
Half a long castle.
Half a long castle. And then maybe pick the king up and oh, excuse me, Jadu, and then put the king on c1.
Magnus just moving his rook. I think he's just staying flexible, dependent on what Wesley so does right now, who pushes pawns in the center. And black hasn't really got any weaknesses. I'm expecting the black queen to move, to choose a square. And yeah, this game will go into a maneuvering stage, and maybe we can zoom out in the meantime. so we'll check back in shortly. This is the status on the Magnus Carlsen against Wesley board as Magnus goes for it. Pawn to f4.
What? The pawn's in front of the king here. David.
Oh, don't try this at home again. Magnus neglecting his king safety, but if it works, it's going to be very effective. The black knights might well be pushed back. And I think the plan is to play f5, but knight takes g4.
Wow.
Wow.
H2 is weak as well. Good luck calculating that.
Tanya, I'm gonna guess that Magnus is looking at pawn to f5. Let's show this on the board while Magnus thinks this is going to be a long thing from him. I'm assuming pawn to f5, knight takes pawn, looks like it's deadly, and the only way that I can see to guard this pawn is king to h3, double attack. Hit this knight, hit this knight.
Oh my gosh.
But this is so risky. So risky.
That you actually end up winning material, because that's a double attack. But do you think Magnus has spotted the idea of bringing that king up? Because that's not a usual move. That's not a standard way to play this position.
And what's funny is like queen d7 there,
You
like
see
trying
that?
to be tricky, and you go king g4, and literally your king's on g4. King takes g4, you're like, ha ha, yep, king g4.
Oh, he made a
Magnus
move.
play?
F5 on the board.
Oh my goodness, it's on the board. Here we go.
We're headed in this direction. Knight takes pawn now, would lose a piece. Black gets compensation though. With us, I mean, with a king out there, anything can happen, right? But,
I mean, this is amazing stuff. Magnus spotting this idea of king h3 and a double attack with the king in the middle game.
With the king, you know, I mean, who says that the king is a fighting piece? Which
Only
one of
the
the
king
world
can
champs
say
said
that.
that? One of them world champs said that. Like, yo, your king is a fighting piece. You know, like fight with the king and then you get mated. You know,
Steinitz maybe.
I think it was Steinitz, believe it or not. But
And the key is that the white queen defends across the board, so on the second rank. So that's why the king moving up defends everything, hits the black knights. I was going to say Magnus loves those types of tactics. I've spent enough time with him to know that he loves these unexpected moves, like walking into a discovered check or walking out with his king. His one Achilles heel is sometimes he gets a bit too brave with his king. But on this occasion it looks like it works. Wesley so might have to retreat his knight. That would be a reluctant decision.
that's terrible. Then the knight go to e5 and I'm just cooking. Like, you go anywhere, knight e5, g5, everything 5. And like, you in trouble.
It's also Magnus's desire to always have maximum fun in the position, right? He wants to take that on. He wants to bring in the gutsy decisions. And Wesley doesn't take the gutsy decision of capturing on g4, calculated it, doesn't want it, comes back with the knight. And now Magnus just offering a queen trade. That's always a tough call against Magnus to go into endgames. And I think with that d5 weakness, to trade on Magnus's terms here, allowing the knight to jump to f4 would be bad news for black, sorry.
He has to go for it. I believe he had to go for this line too, though.
Take on d5?
Yeah, it takes d5, yeah.
Yeah, it happens. This is the endgame. Magnus's terrain, slight advantage for the world number one. But let's go to the bird's eye view because there is action elsewhere.